If you go in this room, you're going to see our operating suite, operating room. And if you have either had an operation or if you have been in an OR, maybe in a shadowing opportunity, or your parents have worked in that environment and taken you there, you'll see that this looks exactly like an OR. The patient that you see is what we call he's an anesthesia mannequin, for lack of a better term. And the machine back there is an actual anesthesia machine, and so we can, if we choose to do this, we can run a simulation as if he was having an operation. Now, while the mannequin doesn't let you operate on him, we're not teaching the actual operative skills. We're teaching all the stuff that goes around it. So scrubbing and gowning and gloving and operating in a sterile environment. So what you can touch and what you can't touch, so that our students understand those concepts when they go in an actual OR. The mannequin, when he is cut on, he responds to low oxygen and high carbon dioxide, all these things that happen when you're in an operative environment and really in an ICU type environment. So we can run scenarios here for a pretty sick patient, have our students work through those problems as they want to. We use it in various ways, sometimes very simple ways, like we don't even have the mannequin on, but they've got to come gown and glove, not contaminate the field, and then throw some sutures on a laceration that we would create. And so that's a simplistic use of this, but we could be much more complicated depending on exactly what scenario we wanted to run. This machine to the left, see if I can get it in the screen for Billy. Yeah, this machine right here is a laparoscopic simulator. And if you know much about surgery these days, you know that surgeons are doing a lot of what's called minimally invasive surgery. So they're putting little holes, like when you take a gallbladder out, for instance, and they're going in with very small tools, minimal incision, and taking a gallbladder out through those little holes, and all of that's visualized through a camera. And that's a laparoscopic surgery, okay? Very similar to arthroscopic surgery, which is in a joint, but laparoscopic is in the belly. This setup right here teaches our students to be able to use that camera, which is a lot of times what a student or an assistant may be doing. And it's a little bit interesting to learn to do that because you're having to work kind of upside down and backwards. When you move the camera one way, it pans the view a different way. It's hard to explain on video, but it's actually very much like a video game. And so this machine lets our students practice those skills. And so that's a new addition that we've got in here. So now we're going to go down to, we'll take another little walk. If you've watched any TV shows, you know that before you go into the operating room, the surgeons or the PAs will scrub their hands, and they will have a lot of water flowing, and they turn around like this and walk towards the OR ready to be gowned and gloved. These are 2 scrub sinks where we do instruction on how to scrub, how to use the brushes, get under your nails, between your fingers, all those things that you have to do before you enter into the operating room. So again, then they can go right around the corner and into the OR. Okay.